Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Vagartha Yenakshara Samamnayam Adhigamya Maheshwarat Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam Tasmai Paninaye Namaha Vakyakaram Vararuchim Bhashyakaram Patanjalim Paninim Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Munitrayam. All right. So what do we remember from last time? We have to remember a few things. So first, what are the two kinds of words we have in the language? We have two kinds of words in the language. What are they? One is called Subanta, one is called Tinganta. Shouldn't forget the basics, Now, how do you get a Subanta word? By adding sup pratyayas to a noun base, which is called a pratipadika. That word is also very important, a pratipadikam. So a pratipadikam is a noun base to which we add certain endings to get Subanta pada. And these endings are in how many vibhaktis? 7 vibhaktis, right? And 1 sambodhana. And these vibhaktis can be karaka vibhakti or upapada vibhakti. How many karakas are there? 6. 6 karakas. What are they? Kartra karaka, karma karaka, karana karaka, sampradana karaka, apadana karaka, and adhikarana karaka. Right? And these will map to what? Kartra karaka will be in what case? What vibhakti? In kartari prayoga, first vibhakti. In karmani or bhayo prayoga, kartra karaka will be in the third case. Good. Karma karaka will be in what vibhakti? In karmani prayoga? In karmani prayoga, first case. Good. In kartari prayoga, in second case. Good. Then karana karaka, what case will it be in? Third case. Sampradana karaka will be in what case? Fourth case. Adhikarana will in what case? Seventh case, not sixth. Seventh case. Okay. Apadana will be in what case? Fifth case. Good. So these cannot be forgotten. Okay. These have to be always in our head. And then there are other uses of karakas. We have not seen too many. We have seen very few so far. Important one we saw is hetau tritiya and hetau panchami. In terms of reason, we use panchami vibhakti. Right? Now, we saw that a tinganta pada can denote which karakas? A tinganta pada can denote which karakas? Raise your hand. I'll listen to you, whoever has to answer. So that we have some live class. Yes, Priyanka.
Kartra karaka and karma karaka.
Kartra karaka, karma karaka. What is akarmaka dhatu?
Sorry?
If it's akarmaka dhatu?
Kartra karaka only. Kartra karaka.
Kartra karaka. Correct. But the tinganta pada can also denote the bhava. Because karma and bhava are different. I just wanted to keep that in view. Karma karaka for sakarmaka dhatu and bhava for akarmaka dhatu, or when there is no desire to speak of the karma. Correct? So, if I say kriyate, what is it denoting now? Yes, Santosh.
It's karmani prayoga.
Therefore, what is it denoting? Kriyate. Which karaka is it denoting?
Okay, it is denoting karma.
Karma karaka. Correct. It's denoting karma. Suppose I karoti.
So it's Krt Pratyayas, it's denoting karta.
It's denoting karta. Now, so we have seen that kartari prayoga, karmani prayoga, in these prayogas are meant only for, these words are used primarily with sense of what the tinganta pada denotes. Right? Now we have entered into another section. What is that? Kridanta pada. Kridanta pratipadika, not pada. Can say padam also later, but kridanta pratipadikam. And kridanta pratipadikam can also denote what? Karakas. What karakas can a kridanta pratipadikam denote? What karakas can it denote? Come on, not a difficult question. Yes, Ganeshanji.
All karakas.
All karakas. Good. It can denote all karakas and bhava also. All right. So, how do you form a pratipadika? For a kridanta, you take a dhatu and you add a krit pratyaya to it, and that will give you a kridanta pratipadikam. All right. Last time we discussed this krit pratyaya can be looked upon through multiple dimensions. What were the dimensions we looked at? The important ones. Yes, Krishnamurti ji or Geeta, whoever. Unmute and answer.
Gender, time,
Yeah.
and kartra or karma. Karaka.
Not just
Gender,
karaka, any karaka.
Karaka, any karaka.
Karaka,
Okay. Karaka,
gender,
time.
and time. Okay.
Present,
So
past.
now tell me, what is time? What are the possibilities in time?
Many possibilities are there.
What are they?
The past tense,
Past
future
tense.
tense,
Yeah.
present,
Yeah.
near past.
Okay. In Kridanta, we don't look at near past. Anyway, it doesn't matter. All right. Then what else? These are three within time. What is the fourth possibility?
Timeless.
Timeless. Timeless.
Timeless. Okay. All right. In gender, what are the possibilities?
Male, female, neuter.
Masculine,
Masculine,
feminine,
feminine,
neuter,
neuter.
and gender neutral. Don't
Gender
forget
neutral.
that.
Yeah, gender neutral.
Right? What does gender neutral mean?
Any gender.
The pratipadika can decline
take
in any gender.
Any gender. Yeah.
Okay. But will the same pratipadika decline in feminine also always? It may undergo a change by adding a stri pratyaya.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is gender and time. And karaka, any karaka it can denote. All right. This much we should keep in mind. Anybody who is having difficulty understanding this much? All okay? Good. So then we saw a few pratyayas last time. What are the pratyayas we saw? We saw a pratyaya called kta pratyaya. One pratyaya called ta. Sharad, you have a question? I want to answer the question. Okay. So, kta pratyaya. Now, what is kta pratyaya? What are the three dimensions for kta pratyaya? Which gender? Which karaka? First, which karaka? What time? And which gender? I want the answers. Who else? Two people both have answered question before. What about the rest of people? Yes, Bhuma. Good. Third person now. Unmute and answer.
It is karmani
Correct.
and both kala.
So correct. Karmani means it denotes a karma. Correct. Then,
Yes.
or what else can it denote?
It can denote a bhave.
Bhava. Correct. Karmani
Correct.
or bhave. Correct.
And
Time.
it is bhutakala.
Bhutakala only. And then gender.
Gender is, it is general neutral, but you have to add an R to get a
Stri pratyaya. Very good. Very good. Wonderful. All right. Then what other pratyaya you would look at other than kta that you remember? Anyone?
tavya pratyaya.
Huh?
Tavya.
Tavya. Good. Correct. Tavya denotes what?
Tavya denotes should. We should do it.
That's no. Tavya denotes. Karaka cannot be should. Karaka is always what? karma.
Karma. Karma.
Tavya will also denote a or bhava,
Karma.
karma or bhava.
Karma.
Right?
Bhav.
The
Yes.
extra meaning for tavya is it can bring in a force of should,
Should.
must, avashyakam. That kind of meaning it can bring in. What other pratyay we look at? Tavya. Santosh?
Aniya pratyaya.
Aniya pratyaya.
Same
Correct.
like tavya.
Same meanings like tavya. Correct. Very good. What other pratyay do we look like? We look at? Yes, Douglas.
Tva.
Twa.
Prati
Okay.
tva.
Earlier we had to look at twa. Correct. What does twa meaning?
Bhutakala. Somebody who read in the past.
Oh, that is
Patitva.
not twa. Okay. That is what you say the pratyay correctly. It's not twa. It is tavatu.
Ah.
It's not twa. Twa is having done. We saw it last week before. Tavatu. Tavatu. All right. This much we had seen. All right. So we'll go back now and look at a few more. All right. And I hope this will make it more clear for you. See, these are things which we should understand very well because that will help you as we go ahead. All right. So now, this is how I thought I could share this with you well. So ta pratyaya we just looked at, okay? So ta pratyaya, is it visible? Can you read or is it too small?
Visible, Swamiji.
Visible now? Better?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So now, ta pratyaya. What are the contents of pratyaya? The ka goes, what remains is just ta. All right? Ta. What dhatus can take this pratyaya? All dhatus can take this pratyaya. Okay? Which karaka is denoted? We just saw. Karma or bhava. What's the time? Kala? Bhuta. Past tense. Gender of pratipadika? All means gender neutral. Okay? Additional meaning only for some like in tavya. Then, what is the, can you give any example for this? A word ending in this pratyaya? Kam becomes what? Ta when you add? Gata. Pat becomes what? Pathita. Kru becomes what? Krita. Ni becomes what? Nita. Khad becomes what? Khadita. Means what? Eaten. Pa becomes what? If it's drinking, pita. Right? So having, which has been drunk already. Now the ta means it's ending in therefore it's the template for Shabdarupa for masculine not or neutral will be like Rama or Phala. This is very important that you know how to decline these words. Then what are the examples? Pathita. Pathita means what now? That which has been read. Gata. Something which has been gone to. Nita. Something which has been led, carried. Drishta. Something which has been seen. Tyakta. Something which has been given up. Labdha. Something which has been gained. Then you have further. How do I make it more visible? Okay. Okay. Then we have, I'm trying to see how to adjust things so you can all see it better, but it seems very hard at times. Okay. Purna. What does it mean now? Ganeshan, do you have something to say?
Yes, Swamiji. Swamiji, ta pratyaya gata hai, rama hai. It
We
means...
will go there.
Okay.
We will go there. Now the question is, gata is denoting what? Something which has gone to a destination. Okay.
Okay.
Keep this much in view for now. Now, what does purna mean? Pru means to fill. Dhatu is pru, to fill. What will purna mean? Yes, Venkat.
That which is
Complete. That which is complete.
Filled.
Filled.
What is filled, right? Then bhinna. Bhid means to break. What does bhinna mean?
Having broken.
Which is broken, not having broken. Having broken would be bhitva.
Wow.
Object which is broken is bhinna. Bhid becomes bhinna. I'm giving these examples so you know the forms are different. The bhid but becomes bhinna, whereas patha becomes pathita. There are changes in forms. We have to know how to do them. But at least you know this form is with kta ending. In Stri, what do? You add an a. And how will it decline then? Like Rama. What are the words you'll get? Pathita, gata. You can see add a. Nita, drishta, tyakta, labdha. Yes, Deepti, you have a question?
So bhinna means different also, not
Yes, it can mean different also. Correct. Correct. The
So
dhatu naam anekartah.
that is a different dhatu if you have to make bhinna.
I don't remember offhand with dhatu, but sometimes one dhatu can have multiple meanings. Like you see, Upanishad, Shad dhatu has got 3 meanings we talk about. Right? So common problem. We have many meanings for a dhatu. So bhinna does mean difference also. But say, for example, in the Chandogya Upanishad, the teacher tells Shvetaketu, we are sitting under a tree. What tree is this? Nyagrodha. Bring me a fruit. He said, yes, sir, I brought it. He says, break it. And then he says, bhinnaha. I have broken it. Means I have separated the two halves. That meaning also is possible. See, again, to separate. Therefore, bhinna is different. That which has been separated. You can extend the meaning here. Okay? All right. So then we have additional notes. This pratyaya also comes in the meaning of other karakas. All right. This kta pratyaya is a very dangerous fellow. He has too many meanings. All right. So that will answer Ganeshanji's question in a minute now. All right. So now I want you to look at kta pratyaya. We look at the same kta pratyaya in another dimension. Okay. Now let me say this to you. You now in your mind, you understand a pratyaya, you want to look at it in 2 ways. Okay. Any pratyaya. One is the meanings that the pratyaya can give. The meaning part. The second you look at is the form part. What form will come with add that pratyaya? All right. So if you remember, whether you added atmane pada or parasme pada, forms are different, but the meaning is the same when we think anta. Correct? Here also, forms can be different, but meaning can be same. One thing. Second thing is what? Forms can be same, but meanings can be different. Both are possible. Okay. So when we're looking at this Krt Pratyayas, you understand like this. One way you look at it is, what are the possible meanings when this pratyaya is added? Meaning dimension. The second dimension look at is, what is the form when a pratyaya is added? Even if the meanings are different, the form will be the same generally. Therefore, once you know how to create a word by adding kta, that form will be same. But the meanings can take different shades. Very different meanings, in fact, not just shades, different meanings, entirely different meanings. And kta pratyaya is one real notorious pratyaya. It can take so many meanings that it can cause a lot of trouble for us sometimes if we don't understand. But fortunately, the common meanings are karmani and bhave, main meaning. There is also an abstract bhava meaning, which is slightly different. I'll come to that in a minute. And there's a possibility of it being in Vartamana Kala. And the Karaka dimension, it can take the meaning of Adhikarana. It can take the meaning of Apadana. It can take a meaning of Sampradana. It has all possibilities, okay? It's too wide. But first I told you about what? Karmani, bhute, karmani or bhave and bhute. That's the most important usage. First you remember that. All right. Now we will look at the next possibilities for kta, at least for your understanding, so that when you see a situation, you don't let it bother you saying, I don't know what's happening here. Right. So that will help address some of the at least significant areas which we need to know with kta pratyaya. So now the next one in our list is again kta pratyaya. Deliberately I kept it that way. Okay. Now what is it? Dhatus, not everyone can take it. This can only be taken by katyarthaka or akarmaka and a few other dhatus. Few others because I can't name all of them and make you remember. It won't work right now. Gatyarthaka means what? A moment. Any moment. Sneezing, yawning, falling, walking. All these are moments. Akarmaka is that which cannot take an object. Sleeping, standing, sitting. Right? These dhatus will take what pratyaya? Kta pratyaya. Form will be the same like we saw just now. But in what karaka sense? Karta. It is no longer karma. It will denote the karta. All right. Tense is still past. All right. And which gender? All genders. So what changed between the last one and this one? In the previous one, all dhatus could take it. Now it's restricted. And instead of karta, it was a karma. These two differences you have to keep in mind. What will be the form? Form will be exactly the same. Gata. Okay. So now, if this is the gata you're looking at, then what will it denote? The karta. Ramaha Lanka Nagarim Gataha. Ramaha. Yes, Bhuma, you have a question? Your hand is up. No. Okay. Ramaha Lanka Nagarim Gataha. What do you understand now? Gataha is what now? Ramaha and Gataha are in Samanadhikaranyam. Gataha is denoting what? The karta. What does it mean? Rama went to Lanka in the past. Therefore, Lanka is in second case. Lankam, I can say. Or Nagarim. Ma. Like, you know, Ramam. Lankam. Nagari Nadim. Are you with me? Now, I can also say Ramena Lanka Nagari Ramena Lanka Nagari Gata. Now Gata is what? Pratipadikam is what? Gata. Feminine. Gata. What is the pratyaya? Kta. What is it denoting now? Yes, Santosh.
The karma.
Karma. Therefore, Nankam, Nagarim is being denoted. Therefore, Rama went in third case. Now, what does Gata mean? Contextually, you have to say. Both are possible. It can denote the karta. It can denote the karma. Very, very important. Every akarmaka dhatu, you have these possibilities. Sthita. Sthita. Same possibility. But see, if it's a akarmaka dhatu, you are much better shape. It at least won't denote karma. So if it's sakarmaka, you have to be more alert. Please, everybody mute yourself, and if you're not, connection, you mute everyone with option to unmute. Okay, good. So now the so this gata is a very good example for this, right? Similarly, every other akarmaka dhatu can fit in the same boat. Gatyarthaka or akarmaka. Patita can mean an object. Can it? No, it can't mean an object because it is akarmaka. So only sakarmaka dhatu will have more trouble. Otherwise, you'll be like hata. Hata means what? Killed, hurt. It can mean the fellow is hurting. It can mean the one who is hurt. Both possibilities exist. Okay. So this you keep in mind. This is one very big usage of the kta pratyaya in kartari, but bhute. Is this clear? Usage, unless we see more examples, it won't stick in our heads. It'll take some time, but you at least understand what's going on, right? Now, so I gave you a few more examples. What are they? Gata, supta. Supta means slipped. Pati, hasita. Laugh, to laugh. I'm just giving dhatu artha here, okay? Yes, Deepti, you have a question?
Yes, Swamiji, I just wanted to know this Ramena Lanka Nagari Gata.
Yeah.
That will be Karmani Prayoga, right?
Correct. Correct. Very true.
So Kartari and Karmani both it can go. Both
Yes.
prayogas.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So feminine the same, right? You can do all this business with it. Now let's go to the third Kta Pratyaya. I have put in red, which means don't worry about it, okay? Don't worry about it. This is just being there for a filler, so you know there's a possibility. Now this one is only going with dhatus with the meaning of to desire, to worship, and to know. And some more dhatus, which have nya as it, which we'll see later. These dhatus are kartari and in vartamana kala, not bhuta. Yes, Santosh, you have a question?
Swamiji, when we say like gamyate, what we were doing in for karmani, so
Yeah.
the only difference is about the kala. What we are doing here, gata, is the past tense, and that one is in the present. Ramena Lanka Nagari Gamyate.
That will be
Ramena
present
Lanka
tense.
Nagari Gata.
Correct.
Yeah, only the difference is about the kala.
True. Yes, that is true. That is true.
Oh.
You could have also said this instead of gamyate. If you use lang lakara, you could have made it in the same meaning also. Lang or lit, lakara if you use past tense, you would have got the same meaning as gata. No trouble. Okay. All right. So now we are looking at ta. It's now denoting the karta, and it's not in bhuta, it's in vartamana kala, but only with certain dhatus. So you'll get words like archita, pujita, buddha, etc., which means the person, it's like latlakara here. Okay, pujita is worshipped right now. That's what it means. But this is not very common. Or at least for now, I don't want to complicate your life with it, okay? But there's a possibility. Know that there's a possibility of kta taking one more dimension. Now we'll look at one more way of looking at kta. Not done. Fourth kta. What is this now? Content is the same all the time. What dhatus can take? All. All dhatus can take. In what sense? Only in the sense of bhava. What's the difference between this and the first kta we saw? This one is only in sense of bhava, not karmani. And kala is not bhuta. Time is all times. Time limitation is gone. So what forms will you get? You will get same word, pathita, hasita, khadita, pramita. So what's the difference then? How do I know what the difference? This is where context becomes very important. We have to understand. And what's the meaning here? Hasita means laughing, laughter, the abstract noun meaning. The pathita means reading, not what is read. Bhavartha, dhatu artha. Reading, laughing, dancing, walking, talking, all these abstract meanings will be said by this ta. And I always like to give an example. If you know the prayer, this Madhuradhipataya Akhilam Madhuram. Have you heard that? Madhurashtakam. What will you hear there? Hasitam Madhuram, Chalitam Madhuram, Vamitam Madhuram, Brahmitam Madhuram. You'll see all these words there in the prayer. Right? What does it mean? His laughing is beautiful. His talking is beautiful. His dancing is beautiful. What are all these abstract nouns? There, this is the Kta Pratyaya. Now, how do you catch this? All right. In general, suppose I was using a bhave prayoga, right? Like gamyate. In what case would the karta be the agent? In the third case, correct? Ramena gamyate. Correct? Now, similarly, if I say gata, karmani, it'll be Ramena gataha. Correct? Now you have hasita. Ramena hasitaha. Rama laughed. That's what it means. But now when you have this hasita as bhave, then you will say Ramasya hasitam. The agent of this kta ending, which is bhave, will go in the sixth case. Watch. It will go in the sixth case. So you can see now, you cannot learn the language by knowing one part. You have to know many pieces to make sense. Till now, I have not said it, but now I will say something more to you. What? Till now, what did we see? Krt Pratyayas. Karta will go in first case. Karmani Pratyayas. Karma will go in first case. Karmani Pratyayas. Karta will go in third case. This is what we know till now for karta and karma. Now let me add one more dimension. What's the dimension now? Now, when I say a kridanta word is what? It's a hybrid word. It has got a dhatu, but it behaves like a noun. It's a noun. Technically, it's a noun. Therefore, the dhatu part can take an object. Right? Say, for example, if I say hasitam. Hasitam, there's an action involved there. Right? Therefore, can it have a karta or not, that action? Now, the karta of the action implied in a kridanta pada. And the karma of an action involved in a kridanta pada can take sixth case. It's not optional, but there are a lot of rules. I don't want to confuse your head with those right now. But what should you know now? When there's a kridanta word, then the agent corresponding to the action underlying that kridanta word or the object underlying the kridanta word can go in what case? Sixth case. Can go in sixth case. But if both are there, if both the agent and the object are there in the same sentence, then there are some extra things we have to do. Then karma will go in sixth case, karta will go in third case. So we have some engineering to be done there. But the whole point is what? This krit, when you have a krit word, the agent of those and the object of those can go in the sixth case. There's a big shift, okay? But not all Krt Pratyaya endings can do that. Yes, Bhuma, I have a question.
In this case, we said that the Krt Pratyaya is bhave prayoga.
Correct.
That means there is no karma.
There is no karma. Correct.
So in that case, it cannot have the object. It will not have a.
There is no object.
Okay, so it can either have a karta or a.
Karta will be there, whether you implied or it's said it's there. Karta may be there. And that karta will go in sixth case.
Okay. So
Okay.
that option is not there.
It will go in sixth case.
Okay.
It will go in sixth case here. No
Okay.
choice.
Okay. Thank you.
Otherwise, you will have a problem to know whether it's bhute or it's bhave. You won't know. Same form. You'll be in trouble. This is the way it's managed. So the fact is, basic rule is any kridanta, the karta of that and karma of that should go in sixth case. It's a basic rule. But with a lot of exceptions. And exception number one is kta pratyaya. Therefore, when kta pratyaya is added, not the one I'm talking about, not bhave, the kta in the bhutartha, when it comes, you don't put the karta or karma in sixth case. It's excluded. Okay? It's going to be a little, of a spinner for a while, okay? But it'll get settled sometime. Had to introduce it at some point, but I didn't want to do it till I talk Kadanta, because until then it won't make any sense to you. But now you look at a word. When we start our whole Shastra, what do we study? Brahma Vidya. We study Brahma Vidya or Atma Vidya. Atma Jnanam, Brahma Jnanam. We all hear this word? Now, what is Brahma Vidya? I'm not talking the meaning of Brahma Vidya, okay? Grammatically, what is Brahma Vidya? Brahma Vidya is a compound. There are two words, Brahma and Vidya. These two are related. And the Vigraha Vakya, which means how do you explain the compound? We do it by saying Brahmanaha Vidya, Brahma Vidya. Atmanaha Vidya, Atma Vidya. And Brahmanaha and Atmanaha are in sixth case singular. The word is sixth case singular. Brahmanaha, Atmanaha. Now, when I say Ramasya Griham, what do you understand? What do you understand? Unmute and answer, one of you. Priyanka, go ahead.
Rama's house.
Rama's house. So what is sixth case used in? In ownership. Sambandha. There's a relationship. Right? Now when I say Brahmanaha Vidya, what is the meaning of sixth case there?
Vidya about Brahman.
Good. Vidya, make it a little, refine it. Vidya whose karma, whose object is Brahman. Get it? Suppose you didn't know this. What will it mean? It means Brahman's knowledge. Brahman is there and he has got some knowledge. It's his own. He owns this knowledge. That's not Brahma Vidya we want. Brahma Vidya is Brahma's Vidya. We don't get it. That is also Brahmana Vidya, but that is possessive. But this Brahmana Vidya is what? The Vidya whose object is Brahman. This is a discussion in the Brahma Sutra Bhashya. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Brahma Jigyasa means what? Brahmaji is Jigyasa. Jigyasa is desire to know. Brahmaji is desire to know, or a desire whose object is Brahman. Big question. And this is settled by grammar. By saying it is Karmani Shashti. See, Shashti is sixth case. Normally Shashti is called Sheshe Shashti. Shesha means not a Karaka. It's a Sambandha. It's only a connection between two nouns. Like Rama's house, Rama's brother, my father, my thinking, etc. But here it is what? It is not Sheshe. It is Karaka Shashti. What kind? Karmani Shashti. The karma of the Jigyasa, the desire to know, is Brahman. Brahma Jigyasa. Brahma Vidya, the Vidya whose object is Brahman. Is this understood? This possibility should be understood. You may not understand, you may not spot everything right, everything. And this can be very difficult in the beginning. Where is it Kartari Shashti? Where is it Karmani Shashti? It's not easy to spot. But till now I have maintained what? Shashti is relation, Sambandha, not Karaka. Now I have removed that restriction by saying Shashti can also stand for a Karaka. It can denote a Karta or it can denote a Karma. Is that clear? Okay. So why did we come to all this? Because Kta Pratyaya, when it denotes a Bhava, it has no restriction on Dhatus and it has no restriction on time, not Bhutakala, in all times. So Krishnasya Hasitam is Krishna's Hasitam in all times. Therefore, Adharam, Madhuram, etc. can be said today and can be said 10,000 years from now also. It is not Krishna smiling when he was in Dwapara Yuga. It is Krishna smiling, that much alone. Is this clear? Any questions? Feel free to ask, okay? All right. Yes, Deepti.
Swamiji, in this Adharam Madhuram, So whether this is a neuter gender, that's why it's Aduram Maduram, or it's the object, that's why we were saying Aduram Maduram.
Well, look, there is no object, right? Adhara maybe. Don't bring adhara here. Hasitam I'm talking
Like
about.
Hasitam,
Hasitam,
Gamana.
no, hasitam is neuter. Therefore, it's not an object. Bhave, it is not karmani. Note, I didn't say karmani. It cannot be an object. Bhave only. Therefore, the will come because of neuter.
Because of neuter gender.
Yes, because neuter 1-1.
Okay.
It's not 2-1. Not an object. Don't
to know
let this
whether
object
it's
buddhi
1-1
with
or
2-1.
2-1.
Huh?
It will be 1-1 and not
1-1. 1-1. Because all will go with asti. You look at that whole stotra. One asti will come. That's all. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Harsha, sorry.
Swamiji, in Bhagavad Gita, there is a shloka, Nashtaha Mohaha Smritihi.
Nashto moha smritir labdha. Correct.
Those are
Not
also
prasada.
Krt Pratyayas, Swamiji.
Nashta is ikta pratyaya. Correct. Labdha is also ukta pratyaya. Correct.
And this will be the first variant.
We have to look at it. I don't want to comment on it right away. We should look at it cautiously. Okay.
Okay.
Because we have to look at the whole verse. Nashto moha smritir labdha. Tvat prasadat mayachyuta, I think.
Huh.
Right? So, what do you see now? Mohaha nashtaha asti bhavati. Right? So, you can see clearly, moha is in what case?
First case.
First case. And nashta is also what case? First case. Therefore, it should be better with what? It should be kartari. Not bhave, not karmani bhave. I'm saying it immediately, but I'm just saying we have to look at each other very cautiously. Okay, otherwise there's a possibility of tripping somewhere. Because now you see, smritir labdha. Smritihi labdha, right? Now, labdha is gained. Smritihi is feminine. Therefore, it has to take the therefore, labdha became labdha. So, now, is labdha in the past? Arjuna is dealing in present or past?
Present.
Right now. He's gained it. Or it could be just now I gained it, past. It's possible. All I'm saying is, I don't want to get into that analysis right now. Because we will go on a different tangent for now. So, but understand the possibilities. You're right. It is ta pratyaya, no doubt. But in which sense it is, we have to examine. Is it kartari, karmani, bhave? What sense it is? What kala? We have to look at carefully. Okay? Yeah. So we will look at that sometime later. If we have time today, if not later, because I don't want to say something and I may be wrong. And I don't want to make something a mistake. So whatever I said, keep it in suspension. We will look at it carefully. All right? So with that, I will say we have seen enough of ta pratyaya. Because very common pratyaya, we should know these possibilities. Important possibilities. What are they? Bhute in the past tense for karma or bhava with all genders. Then bhave only in all times governed by sixth case for karta and karma. Karta. And then if it is akarmaka dhatu or gatyarthaka dhatu, then in vartamana, in kartari sense, past tense, it can take ta pratyaya. Okay, these are the three very, very common used. The other one which I mentioned to you, puja, etc., in vartamana kala is not very common. Don't worry about it right now. Now we look at the second pratyaya, which I mentioned last time. It is called ktavatu. See, these things I'm mentioning here as names, these are all Panini names. Keep them in your head. But I give you a next column here, which is, what is the karaka? It is in sense of karta. Sorry, did I miss one column? Give me 1 second, okay? Yeah, I missed one. The content is tavat, which means what you will see is tavat when you see the word. You won't see kta, ka you won't see. Tavat. Applies to all dhatus Which karaka? As the karta. This is one Douglas pointed out. And then in all genders, how does it decline? In masculine, like in dhimat shabda. I mentioned this last time. So what will be the words like? Ktavatu means the one who has read in the past. Patitavatu, one who has, one who has gone, one who has read. Drishtavatu, one who has seen. Prishtavatu, one who has asked. Kritavatu, one who has done. I should have been bhuktavatu. I think I made a mistake here. Okay, I'll change it, but it should be bhuktavatu, not. Bhuktavatu means has experience. Ktyatavatu, one who has known, had known. Jitavatu, one who had won, who has won. Is that clear? Now, if this kind of word has to go in feminine, then you have to add an E to it. And what will you get? It will decline like Nadi. What will be the Pratipadikas? Gatavati, Patitavati, Drishtavati, Prishtavati. So suppose, you were referring to Rama as one who had gone to Lanka. Rama who had gone to Lanka. You will have to say what? Rama Lankam Gatavan. Rama who had gone to Lanka. Gatavan, it becomes Gatavat, will become Gatavan, Gatavantau, Gatavantah. That's the declension. Dhimat. Dhiman, Dhimantau, Dhimantah. Unless you know declensions, you're in trouble. Okay? Gatavan. Suppose Sita you want to talk about. Sita also went to Lanka. But how will you say it? Sita Lankam Gatavati. Nothing else changed. Gatavat forms changed because gender changed. Suppose a fruit went to Lanka. It will go like phala, okay? Understand? Karta is a neuter. Therefore, we'll have to make it in neuter. That's why you need all gender possibilities. How they decline. So in my mind, see, this is how you understand the whole thing correctly. You should know what the word's meaning is. You know how to form it and you know how to decline it. Without knowing any of these three, you're in trouble. And the meaning will come based on what? The karaka, the time, right? Both these will primarily, and dhatu artha, these will give the meaning. The gender is only to match things properly. In meaning, gender doesn't make any difference. Yeah. So ktavatu is a very important pratyaya also. Because whenever you want to refer to an agent, so now I can say Ramaha Lankam Gatavan using tavatu pratyaya, or I can say Ramaha Lankam Gataha using ta pratyaya. Both are valid. Both mean the same. No difference. Okay? Ganeshan, your question is answered now?
Yes, Swamiji, clear.
Okay. Yeah. This is how it works. Both are equally good. Okay? There could be other options too, which we will see later, if there are. Because I could use lang lakara. Then what will it become?
Agachat.
Agachat. Suppose I use lit lakara. Jagama. If I use lung lakara, you'll get another form. Agamishyat or something like that. I don't remember even. Not agamishyat, some other form. Agamat. So lakaras are complicated. To say the same thing, it's much more easier to say it in Kridanta because you know Rama Shabda, you know Dhimat Shabda, you can easily do it. But to know lung lakara, ling lakara, lat lakara, lot lakara, it takes a lot of effort, okay? So Samskrita Bharati people will tell you don't use these things in your spoken Sanskritam. You use Kridanta, it's much easier. Much easier. Right? So is ktavatu somewhat clear? Can I move further? Okay. So now, where am I? Okay, ktavatu. Let us go to the next one now. Tavya. We have seen this before. Tavya is what? It is Sorry. Tavya. Content is also tavya. No trouble here. Okay. Tavyat actually in the Paninian language could be tavyat or tavya both. I have kept tavya here. Applies to all dhatus. Any dhatu can take tavya. No trouble. What will it denote? Karma. Kala. No specific time. All times. Gender. All genders. What's the extra meaning, additional meaning for this pratyaya? Can have the meaning of necessary, mandatory, force. Certain forces there. Declines like what? Akaranta. Tavya. Is there. Therefore, like Rama and Phala. What are the words like? Patitavya, Gantavya, Shrotavya, Kartavya, Hantavya, Netavya, Gyatavya. You hear this all the time. Right? Kartavyam karma means what? Karma which must be done. Why Kartavyam karma? Because karma is neuter. Karma is neuter. Therefore, it will decline like phalam. Kartavyam karma. Kartavyam karma karaniyam. It should be done. So I can play with these words, okay? So I don't know, this be a Sanskritam song, Manasa satatam, Vachasa satatam vadaniyam, lokahitam mama karaniyam. I think Samskrita Bharati will teach this probably. I don't remember. They have this Gita Sanskritam. They will teach you some songs. Lokahitam mama karaniyam. Karaniyam should be done by me. So a lot of possibilities are there. But Vedanta example you want? Atmavare drashtavyaha, shrotavyaha, mantavyaha, nididhyasitavyaha. What are all these now? Tavya is denoting the karma. Tavya is denoting the karma. So what prayoga is it? Tavyaha means. It's in first case. Tavya is in first case. Gantavya, mantavyaha, shrotavyaha. Means it must be listened to. What must be listened to? Atma. Therefore, Atma is what? The object of shrotavya, drashtavya, mantavya, nididhyasitavya. Right? What is the karta there? Who is the karta? Atma vare drashtavya. By whom? By whom? Can you take a guess?
Maya.
By you. Correct. Tvaya. By you. By the listener. Yena kenapi. Who is interested in Brahma Vidya. Atma is not the agent. Atma is the object. But when you say Maya, you become the agent. That's okay. There it appears as though the word Atma is something other than you because you can't not know yourself. That's the thinking. Therefore, Atma vare drashtavyaha. What is Atma? Ahameva. All right. So that is Tavya. And when it goes to feminine, what will happen? It will go like Rama. So you will see what? You like Patitavya, Gantavya, Shrotavya. When will you say Gantavya? When will you say Gantavya? When the destination is feminine. Nagari Gantavya. Gramam Gantavyam. Sorry, Gramaha. I think both genders, but I'm not sure, okay? But neuter will be Gantavyam. Masculine will be Gantavyaha. Feminine will be Gantavya. Okay? Similarly, Shrotavya. What should be listened to? Something in feminine, if you have something to listen to. Okay? Kartavya, something to be done. Hantavya. Suppose, Ravana will say what? Sita Hantavya. Sita should be killed if she doesn't listen to me. What will Sita say? Ravana Hantavya. For all the dharma he is doing. So gender change is very important there. Netavya should be carried. Gyatavya should be known. Brahma, neuter. Brahma Gyatavyam. Atma Gyatavyaha. Masculine. Suppose you are looking at, some Durga Devi, ktavya. Gender becomes very significant when you know which word you're qualifying. Because all these are qualifiers. All right? Tavya. Similarly, aniya, no difference. Bhajaniyam, mananiyam, karaniyam, pathaniyam, darshaniyam, etc. What does it mean? Same as tavya, no difference. Has the force as well. There are some more pratyayas in the same category, which we will do a little later, because I think I need to introduce a few more things for you to make sense of it, more sense of it. Okay. Then we have a pratyaya called Nvul. These are all tongue twisters, Nvul. But what is the content? Aka. Don't have to worry more. It's just aka. Added in the sense of karta. In what time? All times. In what gender? All genders. Declines like what? Aka means ends in a, like Rama. What are the words? Pathaka. What does it mean? One who studies. Nayaka, one who leads, carries. Karaka, one which does. Lambhaka, Labh became Lambhaka, one who gains. Chodaka, one who asks. You will see this. Bhashyakara will say, Chodakaha Prishyati. Means some fellow questions. A questioner questions. Bodhaka, one who teaches. Or one who knows. Here, one who knows. Nirodhaka, one who stops. All this is an agent. So here, what should you do for feminine? It's a little more involved. What should you do? Change the final aka to ika. What will become? Pataka will become patika. Nayaka will become nayika. See, even Hindi, any film star in Telugu or Tamil, what will you call her? Nayika, right? Even Hindi, nayika. You can't say nayaka. Only English nowadays fashion is don't say actress. You have gender neutral word, actor. She is a good actor. Some 25 years ago, it would be wrong English. You have to say what? She is a good actress. Now, no. All actors, actress, there's no gender difference. They're all actor only. And therefore, they should have pay parity as well. This is how the controversy in the world is, okay? Gender neutrality, they want at that level. But for our purposes, karika. See, mandukya karika. Chodika. Bodhika. I've just kept the same word so you can see the difference, okay? All right. So this is in a sense of a doer, agent. Similar, another very common agent word is trich pratyaya. What is the content? Tr. Similar meaning like Nvul. What does it mean? A karta at all times in all genders. What is the template for this shabda? Datr. Now, if you see, I have made a note here. See, SM means Shabda Manjari, okay? Shabda Manjari, page 18 and page 30. Why do I say that? Because one is for neuter, one is for masculine. The subtle difference in form you should know. All right? And what will be the words like? Pathitru, kantru, netru, kartru, bhoktru, pramatru, kyatru, dat. That tru tells you. If it's neuter, this is how it will be in the first singular. But if it's masculine, it will become what? Ganta, gantarau, gantaraha, gantaram, gantarau, gantrun, etc. If it's feminine, don't try to decline like matru, you'll be in trouble. Okay? Pitru, matru are relative words, relational words. There's a subtle difference between how relational words are declined and how these words which are added to dhatu to decline. That's why I said look at page 18 and 30. So that you don't make a mistake of using pitru as a template. They're very close, but not exactly the same. If it's feminine, you have to add a e to this. You will get what? Pathitri, gantri, netri, kartri, bhoktri, etc. Decline like Madi. Is it clear? All right. Now we come to one more called shatr. I've been looking at the screen for too long. So I thought I'll look at you now. Okay. Shatr. Shatr and shanac. These are two very, very significant pratyayas. Both these pratyayas are added to a dhatu in the present tense. In the present tense. And what does it denote? The karta or the karma. It can denote the karta or the karma. All the complications you have seen in kartari karmani prayoga, in tinganta, apply here. Okay? Bhava doesn't come. It can denote karta or karma. Is this clear? Now, if it is denoting the karta in kartari, if the pratyaya is added in kartari sense to denote the karta, then parasmaipadi dhatus can only take shatr. Parasmaipadi dhatus can only take shatr pratyaya. Atmanepadi dhatus can only take shanac pratyaya. What about ubhayapadi? They can take both. Both forms will have the same meaning, but they can take both. Is this clear? I'll repeat. Kartari prayoga. If you're using this shatr or shanac in kartari prayoga, then the shatr pratyaya will denote the karta. If the dhatu is parasmaipada, it will take shatru only. If it is atmanepada dhatu, like labha, it will take shanac only. If it is ubhayapadi, like kr, it can take either shatru or shanac. Is this clear? All right. Now, if it is karmani prayoga, the same two pratyayas. If it is karmani prayoga, life becomes simpler. What does it? Why it becomes simpler? All dhatus will take shanac. All dhatus will take shanac. There is no shatr possibility. Now, how do you get the forms for this shatr and shanac? I want to teach you the way to do it by using what you already know. Okay? So I will show you how it can be done now. Okay. Is this visible? Enough now?
Yes, Swamiji.
Good. So what I have said, I have written here. Parasmaipadi can take only shatr, atmanepadi only shanac, and ubhayapadi will take both. Now, how do you get the shatr pratyayanta words? Sorry. Why did you do that? Okay. Yeah. You do one thing. You start with the third person plural form in lat lakara of the dhatu. Okay. So suppose you are looking at the dhatu pat. What is third? What is plural third person lat lakara? One of you.
Patanti.
Pathanti. Pathanti. Now what I want you to do is remove the anti. Okay. And replace that anti with at. Replace the anti with at. So pathanti, you take out anti and instead you add at. What will you get? Pathat. You will get pathat. All right. Suppose now you have gachanti. What will you get? Gachat. Hasanti. Hasat. Jananti. Janat. Kurvanti. Kurvat. Understand the method? Yes, Venkat.
Swamiji, what would be the tense here?
It is Vartamana Kala.
Vartamana.
Only present tense.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you add, and the meaning is like lut lakara, as good as lut lakara. But typically in the language, suppose I want to say Rama gacchati. You don't find a usage Rama gachan. You don't find. Gachat, by the way, will decline like gachan, gacchantau, gacchantah, gachantam, gachatau, gacchantau, gachatah, like pachat in Shabdamanjari. Okay, and by using this technique, I'm really leveraging what Panini has taught, but without getting sutras. Because whatever changes happen when you do third person plural will also happen when you add shatr pratyaya. So I'm doing a piggyback on that. Because you all understand what is third person plural, at least for some dhatus now. So you can easily get to the form for shatranta. All right. Okay. Now, how about shanac? To get shanac forms, what do you do? For that, I again want you to start with third person plural, but for a atmanepada dhatu, okay? In kartari. So suppose you take lab, what you will get? Labhante, correct? You get labhante. Now what do? You replace ante with mana. You replace ante with mana. What will you get? Labhamana. Labhamana. Sandhi rules make it hard. You shouldn't say lab plus mana, labmana. It will be labhamana. That slight adjustment you have to keep in mind. Even with anti, the same problem. Gachanti. If you remove anti, you get gach. But there I said add at. Right? Here also, then if I have to add like that, I have to say add a mana. I don't want to do that. I'm just saying add mana. But what will become? Labh will become labhamana. Okay? Applies only to atmanepada. Mind you. So you cannot say what will you do for patadhatu. You cannot say pathamana. Not possible. It will become pathat only. And labh will not become labhat. It will only become labhamana. What does it mean? Gaining. Present tense. All right. And if the third person plural ends with ate, which you have not seen so far, then you add ana instead of mana. Okay. For example, da dhatu will become dadana. You haven't seen it, but that's why it will happen. There are reasons why ma comes and doesn't come sometimes, but we don't want to get into that complication. For now, you remember this much. Replace third case plural. If it's ante, replace with mana. If it's ate, replace with ana. You won't deal with this right now if you're only based on our classes. You don't even know when it will come. But whenever it comes, it will work. All right. This is for Krt Prayoga. Karmani Prayoga, what should you do? I told you what you have to use shanac all the time. Now, in Karmani Prayoga, you again come to the plural form. Okay. You start with the third person in Karmani Latlakara, not Kartari. What will it be? Labhyante. Right? Labhyante, drishyante, pachyante. Those are the forms you will get. Ya has come. And you remove the ante and add mana again. Remove ante and add mana. What form will you get? Labhyamana, pachyamana, pathyamana. All dhatus now. Whether it's parasmayapadi, atmanepadi, makes no difference. Every dhatu will take these forms. Because pat becomes pathat in kartari. But in karmani prayoga, pathyamana. Lab will become labhamana in kartari, but labhyamana in karmani. Are you with me? And what does it mean? Meaning is exactly like the meaning of latlakara. But as I said, very commonly in the language, you don't use it in first case. Use it from second case onwards, generally, but not a rule. Not a rule. All right. So these two now, if you add up, if you look at all these, see, I've done a lot of pratyayas, okay? But the number of forms you will have under your command, if you know dhatu, will be huge now. Huge. So with this background, look at this now, shatr. Content is at. For what dhatus? Only parasmaipada dhatus. Okay? Only for parasmaipada dhatus. Denotes the karta. And what is gender? All genders. What's the template word? Look at pachat on page 35 of your Shabda Manjari. All these I have asked you to memorize or look into them, for a while now. So these are there in our slides. I think third or fourth slide you'll find them. Okay. What will be the forms? Pachat, pathat, kurvat, nayat, janat, tishtat, gachat, pashyat. All these kind of forms will be there. So I use some from Gita verse, You remember the verse? Pashyan, Shrinvan, Sprishan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Shwapan, Swasan, sixth chapter. All those come from these forms, okay? It is all Shatranta. Doing all that, you know what? I don't do anything. That is akartritvam. In feminine, what should you do? If you want, add E. What will it become? It will be, and not just E. I have missed something here. You have to add, make it pachanti, not just pachati. Pachanti, pathanti, kurvanti. These are the pratipadikas for feminine. Okay? I know you will not remember all these, but I'm just telling you what's required first. Then when you exercise, you will understand more. So this is what now Kshatra Pratyaya. Shanac I have divided to two parts. One for Kartari, one for Karmani Prayoga. So it's easier for you to follow. Okay. So Shanac, when you do for Kartari Prayoga, when it denotes the Karta, it will take what only Atmane Padi Dhatus or Ubhaya Pada can take the Shanac Pratyaya. What tense? Vartamana. How will it decline? Like Rama, because ending in A. What are the words like? Labhamana, Vartamana. See, we say Vartamana Kala. That Vartamana is this Vartamana. Present. Okay? Kurvana, Pachamana, Edhamana. All these are present. Which means what? Gaining, being, doing, cooking, growing. That's the meanings here. And if it's feminine, what do? You add A. What will it become? Labhamana. Okay? This is my mistake. This should be Vartamana, not Vrityamana. This is my mistake. Kurvana, Edhamana. This is all in when you have in Kartari Prayoga. Shanac. If you are trying to do Shanac for Karmani Prayoga, what will happen? It will denote karma, and you will find the pratyaya is now not ana but mana, and you'll end up with what? Labhyamana, kriyamana, hriyamana, hanyamana, hanyamane sharire in Gita. Comes from here. Sharira is what it's denoting. Therefore, hanyamane sharire. Pachyamana, stuyamana, gamyamana. In feminine, add a, and you will go with these. Okay? So this is for the Shanac Pratyaya. Then you have one called lyut. It's all mechanical now once you understand what I'm talking about. What is it? It's going to be content is ana, it's added in bhava, just like the ta in bhava. And the words will become pathanam, gamanam, hananam. I'm saying because it's neuter. There is masculine neuter here, there's no masculine. It will be neuter. In the meaning of abstract noun, it will be neuter. There's no choice. Therefore, There is no possibility of feminine gender, not applicable. All right. But the same lyut can also be added in the sense of karana or adhikarana. If it's added in those senses, then it gets a little hairy. It's not for all dhatus, but in dhatus where the language allows it. How do I know, Swamiji? You don't know. Therefore, don't use this karanartha or adhikaranartha to make new words. Use it to understand words which are there. For our understanding of Shastra, it's useful. But for you to make new words, it's not useful, not very useful. Because you don't know when to add, when not to add. The famous word karana comes from this alone. Karana means an instrument. How do you get that? Because added in the sense of instrument. Karanarthe. So you get words like what? Karana, Kyana, Asana, Lavana, Dohana, Yojana. All these possibilities are there. And if you want feminine, you add E and you'll get Dohani. I added only one word because I have to check whether the words will allow these pratyayas in feminine. And here again, the agent will be connected in sixth case. Okay. And one last pratyaya, ktin, which is in the sense of bhava, and very interesting, all karakas except karta. We reversed it, okay? Not in specific karakas. All karakas except kartr karaka, you can add ktin pratyaya. So if you have a word like gati, it can mean bhave, it can mean karmani, it can mean adhikarana, it can mean, but the language should support it. This is where trouble comes. You don't know which all meanings are possible in the language. But the possibility is there. This is how we say in the Gita that amanitvam adambitvam is all jnanam. But what is the jnanam there? Jnayate anena iti jnanam. Not thin, it is lyut example. Sorry, it's a lyut example. So, gati can mean going. Gati can mean way of going, means of going. All these possibilities can come if the language supports it. All right. So, but a lot of dhatus will take it. You will get a huge number of words from these. So, was it all too much to swallow? It's not difficult, but it's a lot of data compressed into an hour and a half. Obviously, I don't expect you will remember everything, but I hope you got the dimensions clear. How we are handling Krt Pratyayas. That's significant. Because now all you need to know is which dimension for each pratyaya. And if you do it 10 times, you'll remember it. You won't forget. And this will give you a huge leg up in terms of vocabulary. So many nouns will become clear to you. So many shlokas we can now start looking at if these become clear to you. All right. I will see if I can cook homework. But, what you can do is I'll put this spreadsheet for you in the shared folder. So you don't have to worry whether you wrote or forgot. It'll all be there for you to look at. All right. Now, what you can do is this. You know the forms now, how it will come. And if you just go to the, one second. Where is it? Hey. I'm looking for a window to share with you. Just give me a second. Oh, funny. Why is it not there? It's there. Okay. Okay. Now, you know our favorite site, right? It is this ashtadhyayi.com. Just go to Mukhya Prishtam. From there, you go to Dhatu Patha. All right. Pick any dhatu you like. Pick any dhatu you like. So you want spardha, edh to grow. Pick it up. Right. Go to kridanta. it will show you the names which I have put here. Lyut, aniya, Nvul, tumun, ktavatu. The only difference is here he's giving you the first Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachana forms. I am giving you Pratipadika. Okay? And when it comes, he gives you one in masculine, one in feminine. He doesn't cover neuter. But this is what it gives you. So you can take dhatus we already worked with, understand the forms and write the meanings. So you will know each word, what it comes to mean. It'll help you a lot. As well, I will try to cook some exercise, but I don't know whether I'll have time. If I don't do it in the next 3 days, then you will have a homework holiday for next 4 weeks. But don't make it a holiday for your learning. Those who are coming to the retreat, don't worry about it. But the rest of you, do spend some time on these. Okay. So I will try to send you some homework, but try to do these. So you can see now that all these words we have covered. Ta pratyaya, ktavatu pratyaya, lyut pratyaya, tva pratyaya, nvul pratyaya, aniya, and a few more I have covered. And all these, once you know dhatu's meaning, you should be able to understand, appreciate the meaning of every one of these words. It may take you some time to be more familiar, but you can do it. Should not be a challenging thing at all. Except for pratyas like ta, where you have too many options. You have to be cautious where it goes. Okay? Any questions so far? Yes, Ganeshanji.
Swamiji, this table itself, a lot of thinking and work has gone, Swamiji. I think really very nicely put table, Swamiji.
Yeah. No, I mean, I thought of how I could make it easier. So it's all in one place and without too much of thinking. So
yeah.
Should be easy to follow. Yes, Deepti. Do you have a question, Ganeshanji?
Yes, one more. In Drishya Vivekam, we say Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drig.
Yeah.
If you extend it to all the 5 senses, let's say you first thing that you can easily put it as Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandham. But the other words are kind of what, like here itself, Rupam, Drishyam could.
No. What is the question, please? What's it? How is it connected to what we are talking right now?
That Drishyam, can it be Drishtam?
No. Drishyam, it could be, but Drishyam there is a yat pratyaya, either yat or nyat. Okay? It's a kridanta pratyaya. Similar meaning like tavya, aniya. Okay? Drish plus ya will give drishya. Therefore, it's a karma of drishti.
Okay.
It's a karma. It's a karma vyutpatti. Drishya is a karma vyutpatti. So drishya is what is seen.
Okay.
So drishtam, if you say, then you cannot get karma in all genders. It's in all times. Bhave will only be, it will be in all times. But if you say drishtam, that word will come to you in bhute.
Okay.
I don't want that restriction. Therefore, use drishyam.
Okay.
Ta pratyaya won't work. Okay. Drishya has the same meaning as drashtavyaha, darshaniyaha. But you know what? As I said to you, that meaning of force is not necessarily there. The basic meaning of tavya, aniya, and ya is just karma. Drishya means what? An object of sight. Rupam, drishyam. Neuter. Rupam, drishyam. Both first case. Lochanam, drik. What is drik now? Drish dhatu with some other pratyaya, I think quip, which will give drik as a form, as karta. It's all kridanta. But we haven't seen all pratyayas. I can't do everything in one shot because this itself is a lot of load. But I said for people who are not coming to the retreat, they'll have something to chew on for 3 weeks. It will keep them in good humor. If they spend their time, you'll learn a lot on the way. Okay. Yeah. Deepti.
Swamiji, for the time being, can from all the 4 among the 4 options of the pratyaya, we can just concentrate on the first one. That will solve the.
I would say concentrate is fine, but be aware of the other 2. Red one, don't worry. The karmaka dhatu, Ramaha Lankam Gataha, is very common usage. Very common usage. They will not say Gatavan, they will say Gataha. Very common. Therefore, it is better to be aware so that you don't interpret it wrongly. That much is important. And the other one, the bhave you can ignore. I'm okay. Bhave you can ignore. But the kta in the meaning of karma and ta in the meaning of karta, you better know. Bhave, if you ignore it, it's okay. You won't have a whole lot of trouble with it generally for some time. But for the akarmaka and gatyarthaka dhatus, that it can denote the karta is very important. Don't drop that. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question? No. Yes, Sharad.
Guruji, between the padas Lavante and Labhevan, is there not a slight difference in
between what and what again?
Labhante and Labhevan.
Not Labhyamana, Labhamana.
Labhamana.
Hmm.
Is it not a slight difference in the meaning?
What's the difference? You tell me. You tell me what's the difference. I want to hear it.
Maybe.
Look. Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe Labhavan, the action of gaining is complete. This gives a feeling of.
I am saying it's present tense. Why do you think it's complete? He is gaining.
In Labhavan also the meaning is gaining only.
Present continuous can come. Generally more present continuous. See, suppose I say, I am cooking. What will you say? Aham pachami. Saha pachati. What do you translate as? He cooks. I can also translate he is cooking. Am I wrong? Suppose I say pachamanaha asti. Pachan asti. It means the same. He is cooking. There can be, but context will tell you. I'm telling you the dimensions. Look at this, right? What are the dimensions of labhante or labhate? Dhatu artha plus karaka plus time, tense. What are the dimensions for krit pratyaya? Karaka plus tense, right? Plus dhatu artha. What's the difference? Bhedaha nasti adhikam. There are some different. I'm not saying there's no difference, but I'm saying nothing that you should be worried about right now. You see now the commonness of the meaning. Gata and agachat are same. But gata can also address a remote past. Can also do the work of lung. That's extra. But you cannot say agachat, gata and agachat are different meanings. No, they're the same. There's no trouble. Gata has a little more. But they can replace in a lot of situations. And they're very beautiful because to make it in one word, you have an adjective which will represent a person who had done something or who had gone somewhere, etc. You cannot do it Tinganta. You'll have too many sentences to do that in Tinganta. It will be very, very difficult in the language. This makes the language flows very smoothly. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Then if you will find now that in the shared folders, you will find a few more. I have basically done one thing in the folder called, Shabdarupa. Let me share that also with you so there's no trouble. I think it is this. Yeah. So you see in our folders, under references, you have these 4 folders, and there's a Shabdarupa's slides. So till now you had 3 or 4, I think. I have added a fifth one also for you. All right, because this will take time. You can't learn it overnight. It takes time. So if you look at the fourth slide, we had seen this last time, I think. Are you seeing this, or is it not shared with you right now? You're seeing it, right?
No, Swamiji.
No, okay, let me share it. Okay, give me 1 second. Give me a second. Share. Okay, now you're seeing it?
Yes.
Okay. So this fourth one, you will see what it covers. E, U, R. This is what will help you all the way. Datra Shabda will give you all the trichanta. Okay. Mati, Suhrid, Marut, Pachat. This Pachat is what I just told you about. This is the form which you will get for the Shatranta. Pachan, Pachanto, Pachantaha, etc. There are subtle differences when Dhatu Ganas change, but you'll see them Shabda Manjari. Don't worry too much, but at least get Pachat Shabda in your head. Then you have the Dhimat Shabda, which is what I told you will help you with the ktavatu pratyaya ending. Right? So if you go here, Dhimat, you will find that you go to Dhimat and then you go to the next thing, similar words, you will find it tells you what all will be there. So I haven't added tavatu here, I will add it later. But I'm saying tavatu will also go like Dhimat. So try and get this in your head. And just 1 second. If I show you the next slide, the next slide is covering nakara, shakara, and sakaranta. Okay, which I have not asked you to look at till now. Here you will find Karin, right? This shabda, Rajan, Atman, these are nakarantas, 3 nakaranta shabdas. Then sakaranta, Vedhas in masculine. Then we have the karman in neuter, which is nakaranta, naman in neuter, which is nakaranta, and manas, which is in neuter in sakaranta, which will be very similar to the masculines. Okay. And tadrish shabda is one more which is useful for us. So I've just combined it here. So what I'm saying is, people who have a time when we don't have class over the next 4 weeks, please take the time and try and get yourself as familiar as you can as possible with all these shabdas up to slide 5. And if you're coming to the retreat, it's okay. You go back and look at when you have time. All right. But it will help you a lot, because what we have done so far, it's easy. Logically, you can follow everything, but nothing will be in the head. And that means when you come to study Shastra, you are again empty head. That won't help. So you have to work on this. This is the only way Sanskritam will enter your heads. You have to work on this and get yourself more familiarized. As I said, I will cook some homework, but when is the question? Whether I find time for it now in the next 2-3 days or not, I'm not sure. I will try. Alternately, I told you, all dhatus you have seen in any exercise so far, take every dhatu and form all the kridanta words which we have seen today. Each pratyaya you add, you will have enough work to do. You have done so many exercises, right? So many dhatus are there in your head. Take them and add each of these pratyayas, write the word, write the meaning. Write the first case, second case, so you know how to decline it. That's important, not just pratipadikam. You should know how to decline it. Okay. So work on this, and then when we come back, so the next class, this Sanskrit class will be on 17th or something like that. Just tell you in a minute. So it will be on the June 17th. June 17th will be the next time we'll meet for Sanskrit class. Okay. Please keep your heads involved and don't come back with a fresh head, then we will not go anywhere. I will review, but come with something in your heads with this understanding. Then we will make some good progress. Now, what we will do is this: once we get there, my thinking is we should be able to take a lot of good, interesting exercises like a verse. People have been saying, can we do one verse in a class? We can start doing that because the vocabulary is now much wider for me to handle. And it'll be an exercise for all these Krt Pratyayas. It will be good. So we'll do that. And then we will start with looking into Sandhi, looking into how to, derive these words like Gachati, etc. We'll start playing with those. We will start adding on those dimensions a little by little. But this base that we have done till now, if you have, we can know some language and we can do exercise well. It'll become more interesting. All right. So please, this plus dhatus also, don't forget. We have dhatu slides also. Kr dhatu, as dhatu, first gana, fourth gana, sixth gana. We have done all this. Except 10th, we have done so many. At least become familiar with those. Don't leave the knowledge that you have gained with doing an exercise there only. Hold on to it. Okay. The old should be retained along with the new. Right. So that's all I have to say for today. If you have any questions, please ask. If not, we will stop now.